What's up, y'all? This is Star Shear with Choppin' It Up. I'm here with my co-host, Frankie Fingers.
What's good?
Frankie Fingers, I miss you.
I miss you too.
I miss you.
I know.
But we're here today.
So wait, you're not working there anymore?
I'm not in Sarasota any longer. I'm full-time in Tampa Bay, baby.
Yes,
Come get
yes,
at me.
yes.
I'm making them gents, real gents.
Oh, that's a shame.
What's a shame about that?
They broke up the duo.
We're still the duo, baby. We got a big project coming up. Y'all gonna flip out when you see it. There's nothing like it out there.
I don't know if y'all can hear that.
Frankie. Trust me. We also have in the house
In his house.
the birthday boy. He came in his birthday suit
Ooh. Yeah, he did.
with a little coverage.
Yeah, he did.
It's Richard Myers.
That's 3 shows in a row.
3 shows in a row, and I got it down packed, baby.
Hashtag don't kill the streak.
Don't kill the streak. It is I've done a little bit of Crown Royale this great evening, so I
Sid Myers.
why?
Because it is.
Have you had Breyer's ice cream? Do you say
This-
Breyer's ice cream? You say
Do
Breyer's
you
ice
say
cream,
Oscar
no?
Mayer wiener or Oscar Mayer?
Word. Get it, Serge.
I like Oscar Mayer wieners.
I like all kinds of wieners.
And
Wieners
the
are
person
great.
defending me who's chiming in so
bet you
charmingly
do.
It's
is
Doctor. Come on, let's make some drum roll here. Brenda Ayala. She is a doctorate in law.
I am.
At law.
I have a doctor. Now I'm confused. Richard, help me out.
She has a
Richard,
Juris
help me.
Doctorate,
I have a Juris
which is the
Doctorate
equivalent of a doctoral degree, but in law.
in law. So I'm a law doctor.
And
yes, I am.
So if you
Yes,
hate
she
your
is.
in-laws, then you will hate Brenda.
You will.
Ooh.
It's a true story.
She's here today because we're going to touch a little topic today that is very. I've experienced this as a person.
I feel as though it's a very female-dominated. Like, we're gonna sound like some hating-ass bitches, but
Well,
I'm glad we got some men in here to kind
Yes.
of balance it
yeah,
out.
help us out.
Hopefully, none of them have been in the situation we're gonna explain.
So, yeah.
Uh-oh,
Well,
here
no,
we go.
I'm not a man builder.
So let me give you a disclaimer, just a tiny one, if you will.
Go ahead.
Disclaimers.
Everything that we're going to talk about tonight, men also experience
with women.
lacking
With
women.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping, Star, that you follow up with a show for a man host who can speak to these issues that they've had with women that are similar.
Yes. Sure.
I do think men and women
Probably,
are
I'm
different in
pretty
relationships,
sure.
right, Serge? Men and women are different in relationships.
True.
But we still experience people that will ride a coattail like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Can we agree?
Yes.
Amen.
So if you're listening out there and you're a gentleman that has experienced what we'll be talking about today, inbox me. We would love to have you on the show. We might give
Or
you,
just-
I want to be able to open up the lines here. He's dogging up this cupcake.
Look, Richard is taking his birthday way too
Good thing
seriously.
we don't got the video cameras
He
yet.
threw some
Listen,
icing in my eye right
I
now,
just
and
want
I'm
to
wearing
say
contacts.
that this diva
Crazy.
just told me to, his birthday's not until Monday, and I told him your birthday's not until Saturday, and we're not going to celebrate till Saturday, next Saturday. And he was like, "No, it's my birthday on Monday. We got to do it
Well,
today."
hold up.
Gotta do it.
Hey,
Hold up,
today's
hold
not
up.
even your
Hold up. Frankie, you're talking about a birthday month.
Yeah.
So let a brother have a birthday weekend.
Well, no. See, I celebrate my birthday month. No,
Ah.
my birthday month. But that's because I do it. I don't force other people to
I don't
celebrate
even
my
really
birthday.
celebrate my birthday like
Let
that.
the
I
record
always
reflect,
work.
I never forced anybody. I merely suggested
Oh no, he threatened me.
Richard,
that we
you
would
bound
do it
and gagged me and
closest-
threw me in the trunk
I'm
of
a
your
guy
car.
that believes in
Don't lie.
I'm in the closest to the birthday theory. So
Gotcha.
Saturday, today,
Yep.
Today.
is 2 days from my birthday.
Yeah.
Right, right,
Rather
right.
than wait 5 days for the 13th or whatever it is, 12th,
Word.
for my birthday.
Double
So,
word.
but Star brought up the valid point that there's a superstition involved. If you celebrate your birthday too early, then you're jinxing it. And I said, why? If you celebrate your birthday too early, you might not make it to your birthday. She goes, exactly. I said,
Wait,
that's
who-
why you need to celebrate your birthday, because
Who's
if you
saying
don't
the
make it to your
superstition?
birthday, you
That's
better
why I
celebrate it
celebrate
early.
the
Yeah.
entire month.
Yeah, that's why you should. Hell yeah.
Hells yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see,
All right, guys. So guess
Richard,
what? We're adults now. And we get to celebrate our birthday the whole freaking month. Cabeche?
look, I'm paying taxes. I want the whole month. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm with you. I'm with you,
To be
Frankie.
honest, if I'm getting free dessert at a restaurant, baby, my birthday is every day.
Listen, I do that sometimes to people. Like, I've gone out with people, and I'll just be like to the waiter, "Yo, it's his birthday today." And
Yeah,
I'll
they don't
just-
really check.
It's hilarious.
I got a funny little tiny story about that. So one time I went to Hard Rock Cafe with a bunch of friends of mine, and of course they were late because they're Puerto Rican.
Right.
I was raised by wolves, a.k.a. American folk, and I am always on time. So I get to Hard Rock Cafe like dead on 8 o'clock, and I'm sitting right at the service well at Hard Rock at one of the cafes, and I kept saying it's my birthday. Well, by the time my friends got there, I had knocked out 12 shots of Crown because everybody was buying me a shot on my birthday. By the time my friends showed up at 8:30, I was laying in the wheel well. I was laying like this going, okay, my birthday's over. And they had a great time without me, and I was sleeping in the car.
Wow.
No, they
So-
didn't.
also have a
It happened.
They're supposed to do a weekend at Bernie's, okay?
Word. I was
Drag,
looking for some strings to help
drag a sister
out.
around.
Drag a sister, make me fake dance, whatever.
Yes.
Listen, I also have an
So
experience.
here's what I gather from this is that you don't really pace yourself very well.
What are you trying to say, Richard? I was.
if it's free, baby,
What?
we don't gotta pace nothing.
Listen, who's counting, baby? Are you counting?
Yeah.
See, he got really.
Actually.
Oh no,
Like,
I got
Judgmental.
You got
Yeah.
judgmental.
It is
Word.
that is negativity,
You
and
owe
we
me, I don't know.
a lap dance.
Richard, no next. No next. No next.
I just
gonna
want to
lean back
say,
now.
like, that happened to me too. Somebody told I went to Coyote Ugly, and they told them that it was my birthday. And you know what happened? I got paddled, and I had to swallow that liquor in my mouth.
Negatory pig.
It came out of my nose.
Is that the only thing you had to swallow that night, Star?
Oh, come on now.
Unfortunately,
I can't.
yes.
Damn, the struggle.
Because I'm not in a relationship.
And we're back.
Anywho,
Anyways,
we
so
have such a
hear a denial.
fun.
before we start this, I just want to say I'm Star Shear, and I was Miss Build-A-Man. And today we brought Miss Dr.
Isn't it
In-law
every woman now?
Brenda Ayala to elaborate on this subject.
I'm a doctor-in-law.
My name is Frankie, and I'm a human.
And
For now.
that's duly noted.
But in the
Thank you.
nighttime, I become a
Thank you
fairy
for telling us.
and wear a
We
little
will debate
tail.
that next week.
Build a man, build a man.
How many Build-A-Mans are there out there?
Have y'all ever seen that thing on Facebook that it's like build your ideal man? You only got $10, and each quality trait has like a money sign.
You've got to
to
be kidding me. I haven't seen it, but doggone it, I really want to.
I'm just saying.
That
I
sounds
always
fun.
choose rich, and I end up with no money.
It sounds like
With a full ass.
See the one?
All I can afford is a rich guy with a small dick.
Did you
God
see
damn
Did you
it!
see the one they made about women?
But rich is
It
important.
said,
No.
build a woman, you have $20, and everything is $25 or more.
see, and that's why you
Listen, would
and
you
that's
take
why
a
you
small
alone,
one for a rich
Sergio.
guy
That's
or
why
a
you
rich
alone,
guy
brother.
or a poor guy with a big one?
I mean, to be honest with you, I don't want to be that person. You
But
know
you
what I'm
would.
saying?
but you already are.
He could always get a good
But
job.
if we're being honest,
He can always get a good job.
He can always get a better
my
job.
You
Lord.
right. You right.
But then you
Serge.
start
I
waiting.
can always build a nigga up to
Yeah.
get a good
Yeah,
job.
about
Okay.
that. Yeah, about that. Brenda,
That dick
why don't you
ain't
tell
right.
us all about that?
You can't fix a
Well,
fucking
I've
dick.
done it a few times, but you know,
I think every woman has.
I want to
Yeah.
start this by saying
R.I.P.
this is not a man hater club
It's starting to
because
feel like-
I love
she-
men.
Well, here's why, and I can appreciate
Woman
you saying
hater.
that, Serge and Richard, because I love men. I love men. I think they're amazing. I think they're an incredible gift. But I think that
They're an incredible species.
I think that for me, I have certainly made a point of picking wrong men.
Yeah.
It doesn't make them bad men. It just
Haven't
means
we
that
all,
I picked
queen?
wrong men for me.
Big facts.
So,
But
yeah.
was it that you actually picked them or you were tricked into picking them?
Well, that is that is the question,
I
isn't it?
disagree.
Can I ask you right away if any of your wrong men are
I concur.
listeners?
I would say
Perhaps.
one of my
breaking
wrong
mics around
men
here.
is probably attentively listening and taking
Well,
notes.
fuck you, dog.
Hopefully for the benefit of his learning.
Hey,
So it's
we're
not
gonna.
that's where
personal,
we're
it's-
at.
It's educational.
Alrighty, all right. Let's get this shit started, all right? Because we got a
Let's
lot
get
to
it
talk about, and
started.
I'm mad excited.
I'm so excited too.
So we have
Excited.
Brenda here, right?
Who apparently doesn't like my logo very much.
Damn, Brenda.
I like the logo. I
Okay.
like the logo.
All
She
right,
just
all right,
ripped it
all
off
right.
the mic. That's all.
Hey, hey, hey.
Oh,
It was
Brenda.
in
cool.
my way. Look, your logo is. I've never seen a better logo, Serge. In all my days in radio and television, never have my eyes seen such a
Such
beautiful.
amazing.
Such an amazing
It's
logo.
increíble. It's
Wow.
impossible.
Such an
So
amazing.
bonito.
Wow.
Me
I mean,
gusta.
I
I'm
close
sorry.
my eyes and I
Thank
see
you.
it.
Me
Yes.
gusta
I interrupted
mucho.
you.
Right, right, right. So,
Okay.
Brenda,
I'm sorry.
who are you?
Who are you, Brenda?
Who
Like-
am I?
Who are you? What do you do? Why do you do it? When do you do it?
How do you
How often do you do it?
do it
You better
alive?
testify, honey. You busted out with a how, when, where, what,
Who,
why.
what, when, where, why?
I love it.
We want the tea, baby.
I'm going to give you the tea. So who I am is like they've said, I'm Brenda Ayala. I've done a lot of stuff in my life that I'm really super proud of.
haven't we
I'm a
all?
state licensed general contractor. I've built 140 homes in the last 10 or
Wow.
12 years. I've done a lot of rehabs. I have coached. I have taught real estate investing around the world.
She has saved my life.
Yes, I'm a real estate investor in my own right. I just buy properties because I can.
Yeah.
Bam.
Bam. 'Cause I'm-
Bam.
'cause
Weird
I
flex,
am.
She is a
Okay.
badass.
I am that girl. I mean, I see an opportunity and I take it. I don't second guess myself
Would you
ever.
say that you are
Say it.
100%
That bitch. Really?
She's not going to say the word bitch.
Oh, you right, but
But
I'll
I
say
would
it.
say I'm
But she's a boss.
I will say I'm 100% boss. I mean,
Okay.
truly.
I mean,
I
you
also
could just-
have.
okay.
I was super lucky. I went to college when my kids were grown because it was my dad's wish for my life.
Okay.
And I didn't know that I was smart until I realized I was smart. My undergraduate, I graduated with a 4.0.
Wow.
I went to
Fancy
law
pants.
school with a 50% scholarship.
This ain't about you, Richard.
Jeez.
Right?
Calm
So-
yourself out.
Raising your
And
hand.
the reason why
Jesus.
the reason why I'm saying this is because what
need a
happens with building a boyfriend, building a man, build a bear, build a boo, build a whatever.
Build a boo.
Build a
nigga.
boo.
I like that.
There
Build a
it is. That's
nigga.
that star's next tattoo is build a boo.
Build a
Oh,
boo.
baby.
Yeah.
Have you not
3
seen
years-
the logo that we're making for Star?
3
Oh,
years
yeah. Oh,
I
honey.
posted on my Facebook. I am not Miss Build a Man anymore. And
She
it's-
has.
And it was.
And
I've
I've been
been
watching.
consistent with it. As soon as they start acting up, bye, bitch.
But here's the thing. This is my if I had an umbrella message I want to send you before we get down to it, it's going to be this. This can happen to any person, male or female, any woman, any man, any level of social status, and any level of education. This is not about stupid, ignorant, uneducated, well-educated, having means, not having means, welfare, not welfare, whatever. This is about human instincts, and it can happen to anybody. So if it's happened to you, then you're probably in pretty good company. And I'll start with me. You're in damn good company if you're here, because I've done it, and I've done it a lot,
Preach.
and I've done it systematically and over many years of time. But what I'm here to tell you is that I've learned a lot, and that's what I want to wrap up today. And I want to share with you guys. I'm going to leave you with 3 things by the end of this conversation that may change your life.
Wow.
Let's define what it is.
Oh.
What is it that it is you're defining
So-
as you're doing?
So what it is that I want to leave this room today with some clues as to why women/men pick the same kind of people over and over again that they know inherently are not good for their life.
Could it be called like? I know a lot of guys say it out there, like a save a hoe.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be a save a bow. It could be
Save a bow, save a hoe, save
It could
a
be whatever.
Whatever.
Remember we talked
Yeah, Richard and I have talked about this for a long, long time. And one of the things that happens to women, men, that are constantly in relationships with people that are beneath them, not at their level, not building, they're sucking your life force out of you, is that we allowed that to happen because we want to fix things. So Richard and I have been friends for a long time, 10, 11 years now, right, Richard?
Yes.
Yeah. So the one thing that Richard and I have in common, actually there's 3 things Richard and I have in common. We're both really super nice people. Okay? That is a benchmark for someone that wants to wear you out.
Preach
Okay? That's
it,
number
sister.
1.
You got
Number
good morals.
2, great morals, and we're successful. So who better? I mean, I feel like I have a pin the tail on the heifer on my butt.
Amen.
Because I'm always a target for someone who has less, who's done less, who believes less, who wants less than me. because I look like, and I can only speak for me, I look like an easy way out of their current situation, right? How many of you guys have done that?
Of course. I just want to say before you go through your whole experience, Brenda and I met during those circumstances, and
Oh, yeah.
we were both at the point that we lowered ourselves for other people to the point that we could not leave because financially it was not okay at the time because they drug us down so low.
Right, that's so true. And the thing is that when you're in that situation, you're hurting, okay? There's something about me that I have worked on a lot in the last little while, something about Star, something about Richard, something about Frankie, something about Serge. All of us have something in us that we don't reveal to other people that is our hidden weakness. It's our hidden insecurity. It's our hidden fear. And that vulnerability is the very thing that allows just enough of an opening for these people to come in. Does that make sense? Whether they're females or males.
Facts.
I'm heterosexual. I've had women come into my life that were that same person. I've had men come into my life that were that same person. They saw something in me that was a shortcut to where they wanted to be. They weren't willing to do the work that I'd already done. So they were coming in that way. And they're very endearing. They're very endearing. They find one thing in you that's beautiful that you're willing to share.
Nah,
And then-
you know what it is? Motherfuckers.
What is it?
You know what it
Frankie.
is? They find your insecurities.
Oh, yes.
And they play on them. They say, oh, this girl, all she does is work. All she does is take care of herself. She's lonely. She wants attention. She wants somebody to tell her that she's fucking beautiful. So what the fuck do?
You let it happen.
Yep.
And then
I mean,
you're
let
so
it happen.
busy
You
that
look me straight in the... You look me straight in the face.
Tell him.
Sorry,
that.
Richard. That was getting
Tell
very
him.
angry.
Tell him.
You look me straight in the
Richard's so
face.
sweet. You
Tell
can't
him.
be mad.
how do we
at him.
look, Frankie?
You
Angry
look me
face,
straight in
angry
the
face.
face.
Tell him.
You tell me that I'm beautiful.
Not going to take it anymore.
You fill my head with lies.
Lies.
Give me the
bitch.
Lies. You give me that slightly mediocre penis. Okay?
Okay, put down.
I hype you up because I don't want to be by myself and I think that you're a good fucking guy. And then what happens?
Wow.
So then what happens
Slightly
is
mediocre.
because
Tell 'em.
there's just enough. Let me give you an analogy. Someone told me this a long time ago. I thought it was so excellent. When I was now, one thing I want to say before I give you this analogy is that my kids, by the way, are 26, Victoria, and my son Jeremy, who goes by the name of Diasis, who met me when I was going through sheer hell on earth, would have never looked at me and said, she's insecure. She doesn't value herself. She has low self-esteem. She would have never said that because she met me as a boss, right? And that's what I want to project. I would venture a guess. I know Richard better than anybody. There are things about Richard that I know that I'll never share. But Richard comes off as somebody that is a boss, right? So when you come off as something that's attractive to people that have less, of course they're coming for you.
Of course.
And it's crazy. You'll find yourself in a McDonald's crying your ass off saying, what just happened? Remember, Brenda?
Yes.
That was me. I was crying at a McDonald's, and I said to her, I don't know what happened here. Like, my career was popping. Everything was popping.
McDonald's, though?
In the
Jeez,
McDonald's.
That's rock bottom.
Yo, I was in rock bottom, not understanding that I got.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, okay, I'm Star Shear. I'm from New York. I know these kind of dudes. I know these. I run from these, but I got. And Brenda got with me,
You know,
but different situation.
We were getting God.
But this boils down to one thing. Well, in my opinion, one thing. You might
Because
have-
you know we're going to rip your neck out if it's wrong.
No, we have,
I'm just kidding.
We have, each of us, I know all of you here, have a big enough heart to always give the benefit of the doubt
Right.
of the human being you're
And
with.
that's a mistake.
I hate
I
that.
don't agree with
No,
that.
it's not.
Okay.
Listen,
I don't agree with that,
my
Star.
heart has changed
All right, I
when it
don't-
comes
well,
to that.
Hang on, though. I got to check you here, though. If you ever feel that way, it hardens your heart and you're lost
Yeah.
forever. My mother said to me one time when I went through that breakup that Star is referring to, that when I'm talking breakup, I'm talking I wanted to kill myself. I've never felt that way in my life. I'm a Christian. I know Christ died for me, and suicide is the eternal separation from my Lord.
Yep.
But I wanted to end what I felt like I was willing to commit suicide. And the only thing that kept me from doing that was knowing that my daughter Victoria, my son Jeremy, right, my granddaughter Misha, my little baby granddaughter Amina, and my grandson Romello would have a void in their life that would never be okay because of a permanent solution that I picked for a temporary situation. I'm going to get real. You ready?
No,
okay.
no, wait.
This is ugly.
Say that again for the people in the back.
I was willing to take a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Oh.
Man,
because
that
let me
shit's
tell
deep.
you something. Pain never lasts forever.
No.
But you don't know that when you're in it. You don't feel that way when you're in
doesn't feel
it.
like that.
You
Doesn't
think you're
feel like
going to
that.
die. I was literally so afraid, and this is my faith talking, okay? And Star knows this because she was there. When my ex-boyfriend that was kicked me out of his house, let's just get on it, okay? He
tell him.
kicked me out of his house because he could, and he had that power over me. And my house wasn't ready. A tree fell through my house. It was still going through renovations. I had to go there despite the fact that there was nothing there. No appliances, no running water, no electricity. I literally turned the phone on, the light on my phone, to get me through the night because I knew that if I stayed in darkness and there was no light in my house, I was going to kill myself. That's how bad he wrecked my mind. I allowed somebody that kind of power and authority over my mind.
Yeah.
You can give people power and authority over your body. That's your flesh. It's going to end. But your mind, nobody gets to go there.
Your story is my story of the sneakers.
Yes, the story of the sneakers.
sneakers.
We can get to
Exactly
the story
right.
of the sneakers. But the
Right?
thing with when you were going, he didn't go after Brenda because she was a Joe Smo. He went out for Brenda because she is somebody big time in the real estate industry. And he was a small time little real estate guy that just goes in there, tries to see if he gets a lead or something, and he doesn't get nothing, and he just like boom, boom, boom. And he saw her, and he was like, bam, an investor. She flips all these houses.
That's how he
And
found
she's
you.
known.
And she's
I've
known.
taught real estate literally all over the world. If you Google me, there are videos still out there from 2007, 2008. I was everywhere in the world teaching people how to invest in real estate. So he saw me as an opportunity. And let me tell you something. My daughter said something one time when she was about to do something seriously wrong that was going to wreck her life. And she said, I heard in my head, you cannot serve two masters. And you know what I heard in my head? I heard my dad. I heard my dad tell me this. When things started to go sideways, I heard my dad's words. My dad said, a man will never treat you better than he will when you're dating. So if he's already treating you like crap when you're dating, it has nowhere to go but downhill from here. And I dismissed my father's wisdom.
Yeah.
I
But
dismissed that.
you weren't stuck in that situation because you felt like you couldn't get out. You were stuck in the situation because, as me, we put everything into an investment that we were expecting back, and then we were fucked.
That's
And
true.
then when they knew that we were stuck in a place, then they were like fucking with us mentally.
Can I add something here? I went to counseling as a result of my prior relationship, and the one thing that I remember from the counseling, and this is something I think everyone will agree to, is never lose your wisdom.
Right on.
Right. You always have an intellectual side of you that's speaking to you, and then your emotional side will take over
Yes.
and say, just put that aside. You love this person, or you're willing to work with this person, whatever. That intellect exists
Your
to
gut.
be the veto power.
That is true. There is an intellect, but there's also there's also that factor of survival. Like, okay, I have to leave. I have to get my money. I don't have a place to go because I just fucked myself trying to be in this relationship, and you're trying to be wise and how you're going to make your next move because now you're in survival mode, and that's what we were. We
So-
were like, yo, how are we going to do this?
Exactly,
Me and her would
right.
sit down and say,
We
this
would
is how we're
talk
going
for
to do
hours
this.
about this.
We're going to do it like this. We got to get out like this because we...
Yeah.
For some reason, it happened at the same time with me
It
and
did.
her.
It was so ironic, too, because I had just met Star through my then boyfriend who introduced me to her. He was super, super upset that Star and I were like butter. I mean, we hit each other. We were like, I get this girl. She got me. And mind you, we're 20 years difference in age. She's 35. I'm 55. Let me tell you something. We clicked like we had
Oh
known
my
each
God,
other.
you're not 55.
Shut up, Richard. So we clicked like we had known each other our whole lives because age was irrelevant. But the thing that he did to me that was so incredibly important was once he realized that I didn't have anywhere to go, I saw myself in a rat trap, like I couldn't free myself of it. And while he had me there, he beat me down emotionally. He told me, nobody else is going to be interested in you. You're sorry. You're this, you're that. Now, mind you, by this time, I had already graduated from law school. I had already graduated from undergrad with a 4.0. I had been a GC for 20 years. I was running a successful construction company. I had a day job that was bringing me a lot of money. But yet, the one thing that I was insecure about was the thing that he kept pounding on because he knew it tripped me up, right? I had all this other stuff going for me, but I couldn't see it because all I could see was how badly he thought how badly he talked about who I really was. What I didn't recognize, though, what I didn't realize was that once I got a little bit of space between me and the noise, was when all those other things rose back up in me again. He had pushed them down. That is what Richard calls, and I agree, is a pathological narcissist. Yes. Okay, that's who I was involved with. And that might not be the case for all of you. Might not be the case for all of you. Maybe you're just dealing with a guy that's an ass. Okay, that's possible. Maybe you're dealing with someone that has a pathological mental wiring issue, such as pathological narcissism. You can never win with a narcissist. Now, since then, because I thought I was so smart, I learned a lot from that relationship, and I purposely didn't date anybody for 1 year. And Star remembers this is the darkest time in my life. I did not want to date anybody. I refused to go out with anybody. I took some personal inventory of my life and myself, and I started reinvesting and nurturing my spirit because it was broken, because I allowed somebody to have that kind of control over me. And I did not date anybody for 1 year on purpose. The next guy I dated was not a narcissist, but he was also a man that was not at my level. So, old habits die hard. Yes. This is lesson number 2, by the way. With the best of intentions, if you don't change how you evaluate relationships, you'll still end up with the same guy or the same woman. You can say all the words, all the bumper sticker things, He didn't bring you to, not to bring you through, all that stuff. Yes, all true. But until you change how you feel about your evaluation process, you're still getting the same guy. Yeah. You might be a little better than you were the first time somebody ripped your guts out. Yep. But you're still getting pretty much the same guy. So the next guy was a super nice guy. Very soft-spoken, had his business together, had relationships that weren't at my level, had a drinking problem, had a smoking problem, had a marijuana problem that I allowed because I was so lonely for a year. I gave him, remember that crack we talked about? Mm-hmm. I gave him just a little baby, just a little tiny place in my life that he swung wide open, and the next thing you know, here I was again feeling bad about myself. And then I'm like, and then the next question was,
how did I end
how
up here
the
again?
hell did I get here again? What is wrong with me that I keep attracting these same people? And that's what we're talking about right now. So that's the background, right? The point being, the first point is that this can happen to anybody, a male or a female. The second is that if you don't replace your stupid thinking with some genuine, legitimate information that's smart and takes care of you, you're going to make the same mistakes again. And then you get to the place where you don't do it anymore because you've learned a little something. That's where we are today.
I mean, it's like you said, is it that you're like, I honestly think that sometimes you get preyed on. You know what I mean?
I think that happens.
And like in my situation, like when I met my ex, right? Mm-hmm. I had everything going for me. I was driving a Mercedes, living in a luxury apartment, doing this and doing that. Nothing like how I'm living now, because now I'm just living. But back then, I was like a little bit less, you know what I mean? And they come in with that, the way he got to me was like, oh, I don't feel comfortable because you make more money than me. I don't know. And I'm like busy. I'm like, what do you want to do about it? Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, listen, I hear what you're saying. You want to be on my level? I can help you real quick, but I'm doing me real quick, so I'll help you real quick, and then let's just do it. And
But hold up
boom.
right there. I got to tell you something right there because you sound exactly like me talking. Richard's known me for 11 years. How many times, because of the pace at which I'm moving my life,
And that's
I'm
me all
making
day.
moves. Hey, I ain't got time to deal with the fact that you're not at my level. I'll just drag you up with me.
Okay, so then that's
What?
what I did.
Ah.
So then I was like, "What do you need right now?" And he was just
Preach.
like, "My boss is doing this. How much does your boss make? Oh, this much? Cool. How much is this? How much is this? How much is this? Can you do this? Can you do that?" And
Well,
I'm
let me
like,
tell you
"Bingo.
something.
I'll handle it."
But let me
now.
tell you something, Star. Let me tell you something I learned by dragging people. I've been dragging people around with me my whole life. Let me tell you why. I'm the product of a rape. My entire life, I grew up thinking that I didn't have a value. The only way that I could make people look at me was by my voice and by my education and by my ability to learn, and it makes me cry a little bit. But I'm gonna make this real little because somebody out there that I'm talking to right now has this story. This is somebody else's story too. You hear me? I grew up from the minute I drew my first, I knew that somebody didn't want me. And that has affected every decision I have made ever since, even the good ones. Even going to school and busting my ever-loving ass to graduate with a 4.0 so that a law school would consider me, so that I could get a scholarship, so that I could do all the things because something in me wasn't valued from day one. Day one. I always thought I wasn't worth anything. It took a long time for me to realize, sweet Jesus, I'm worth a lot. And everybody knows it. Everybody sees it. Everybody wants it. But nobody that I have picked recently was willing to do the work, which was the one thing I was willing to do. I was willing to do the work.
And that's what I feel like. And now the way I view things, like, I handle that all. I said, you want to be on my level? I'm on my level. Now you're on my level right now. But I'm over here dropping me to handle his shit, which was my business too, because it was
Right.
mine. And I'm working
Right.
on my phone,
Right.
distracted now, not pushing my brand. But now we're making $10,000 a month.
Yeah, because you're a
but
people.
I funded it for
You're
2
a
years.
fixer, and you're a people pleaser, and you're a caretaker.
Yes.
But you know what? I heard a pastor the other day.
I handle business immediately.
By the way, I want to tell every one of y'all, look up a guy named R.C. James. R.C. James said one thing that knocked me off my chair. He said, stop giving these clowns the crown. Stop giving these little clowns
I
the
love it.
crown.
I actually have
He
a
said,
masterpiece.
save the crown for your husband.
Yes, I
He
actually
said,
have a
stop
masterpiece.
giving these so-called clowns with the crowns privileges of your king.
Don't
Wow.
give them fuck
Tell me
boys,
that is-
husband
Damn.
Let me tell you.
qualities.
Knocked me and convicted me so bad that I made a promise to myself, and I was smart enough to know that I could make a promise to myself. I made many. But until I communicated that promise to other people, it wasn't going to happen. So when I say to Star, I'm not accepting that anymore. I will never allow another person in my life that needs more that I'm willing to give them. I will never accept another human in my life that isn't looking at a long-term goal and a long-term commitment with me. I'm not going to build something with you for you to learn how to do things to take to someone else. I'm
and
not
they
doing
don't
it.
add to it because if you see my relationship, because you were there, I brought you to my house. What I had was what I came into. What I came into that
Yes.
relationship with.
Yes.
He did not add to my value. He did not add anything at all. So the day that I left, I threw everything to the curb. You remember my house?
Oh, my God.
Everything in that household,
I do
from
remember.
shoes and clothes, I gutted it. And I said, bitch, I'm going to get up and watch me. And I did in 30 days.
But let me tell you something about Star. I watched her go through this, and there are times when you can be there for your friends, and there are times when you need to step back and let
them do
them
it.
recognize how awesome they are. And that happened with Star. I was watching this happen, and I was loving her through it, and I was sitting down and crying with her, and I was praying with her, and we were knocking out and falling asleep and sitting up all night talking on the phone. We went through that junk together because I was going through the same thing at exactly the same time.
You ever
and what it made me
believe-
realize was that when you're alone, you are capable of incredible things. When people stop helping you and allow you to recognize what you're made of, you will far exceed anything anybody ever expected of you. And that's what happened to me. And that's what happened to her. I watched it.
But the thing is that we were brought together in a special way. And the way we were brought together, it was a real friendship.
Yeah.
It was, we were going through the same thing. We didn't even know each other for that long when this was happening.
No.
We had no choice but to say we are women and we're going to trust, we have to trust each other right now because we are all we got.
That's right.
We just got by two dudes. And if we don't help each other through this, we're going to be homeless.
Yeah.
This is the very thing that I was telling you earlier about when I went to counseling in my last relationship, about the battle between wisdom and emotion. When you realize, when you really come to grips that wisdom is more important than your emotional attachment to the person you're with, because you're willing to compromise ethics and your moral system and your values when you're emotionally attached to somebody. But when you realize, and you do this, like, what the fuck am I doing? When you get to that moment, that's your wisdom kicking in. It's telling you you're being an idiot emotionally.
But you don't want to know that, Richard. You don't want to hear it. And you don't
No one wants to hear it.
Because
and all the people trying to give you the wisdom, at first you're going to rely on your emotion as your battleground. But it's understanding. When you get to the point where you understand where you have to tap into your wisdom and realize that's powerful. That's going to be the controlling moment.
It was a learning experience for both of us, though, because this was the first time in my life that I had to trust. And it was not trust a man. You know what I mean? It was just
trust yourself.
I trusted myself. But it was just trust. And I had to trust you, and you had to trust me.
Yeah.
You know, and we were like...
We bridged the gap.
What the fuck?
My daughter, who's listening right now, Victoria, I have a lot to say about Victoria.
Hey,
Maybe
Tori.
that's everybody say hi, Victoria. She's texting right now. Clown with the crown. She's heard that message from
I got
James.
the artwork. Did I tell you about the artwork? I'm going to share my Facebook later, guys.
Okay. Here's the thing. I have to remember, and you have to remember this too. You have daughters, Star. Frankie, I don't know what you're...
I ain't got no fucking kids.
Okay, fair. Some people don't need them. You got daughters, Richard. Sergey, what's your story?
Nothing.
Not that he knows of. Not that he knows of.
Not that the DNA test is
knock, knock. You're my baby daddy now.
But listen, I want to tell you something important. Well, the decisions that we're making right now and the choices that we're making right now don't only affect me and you. I got a daughter that's watching me. I got a granddaughter that believes in me. I got a little baby granddaughter who everything she ever knows about her relationships with men will come from the women in her life, right? Watching the women in her life go through it. I don't want my kids being on welfare. I don't want my grandbabies being caught up in a system that thinks this is all you get. You're at your top level living in public housing. That is not a good enough offer from my girls in my family. So until I start living at a level that's above settling for so little, I can't really give them good information. I can't be someone that they look up to. I can't be somebody that they believe in if they see me settling for people that are just a bunch of bull. Okay? That's really, and it's, if you break it down into its simplest form, my daughter's going to be watching me the rest of my life. I'll die before she will. I don't like the thought of that dying thing. But anyway, I know where I'm going. But the point being, everything that my daughter is now as a woman is because she's been watching me her whole life. I don't want her to settle for people that are constantly hanging on to the back of her dress looking for the free ride that they weren't willing to work for.
You got to be mindful, people, because this is your life.
Yes. Yeah.
It slows you down into the process of your gain, and some people don't even get to see the other side because they've been dragging motherfuckers the whole way. And it's not just a relationship. It's also like friends, family, associates, you know, people that just latch on and they just drag you down. Trust me, once you get rid of that, you start soaring.
I have told so many people over time that you have to evaluate relationships, whether friend or relationships like romantic relationships. Is the relationship you're having a net positive or a net negative? Once it's a net negative, once you realize you're being dragged downward, you have to jettison that person. As much as you might have an emotional connection, if it's a net, if the end result is you're being brought down, we have a short time on earth.
A limited amount of days, right, Richard? A limited amount of days.
Don't waste your time.
Word.
Now, we're all human beings here. We all realize,
and that's the part that jacks up our logic, and our
jacks
critical thinking, and our reasoning.
So we're with
skills.
somebody you have an emotional connection to, and you
sense,
realize,
if you will.
I'm going to give every freaking benefit of the doubt. It's only later do you think about what a waste of time it was.
But
So you have to trust
you
yourself.
can't see it when you're in it, though, Star.
Right, but the
You
point
can't
we're
see
trying to
it when
make
you're in
here,
it.
though, the point we're making here is that you have to trust that intellect that tells you early on.
Should it be
This
the
is
default?
going to be a
though?
net negative.
Should
This is a net negative.
Should the intellect be the default?
That's what I believe.
And you and I have discussed this many times.
Do
and
we
the
live
reason
it?
why I'm
No.
asking,
Do we believe it?
The reason
Yes.
why I'm asking is because I'm going to bring a point home. We may know that. We may have all of the ability to reason and critical think our way through that stuff. Yeah, for sure. We can do it. But matters of the heart are so hard because once your feelings get involved, all of that wisdom, all of that intellect, all of that critical thinking, all that reasoning, bye, Felicia, it's out the door because we can't get past how we feel. So how do we overcome that?
Strength. After all that, you have to rely on your strength to say, I understand what is better for me.
Yeah.
And you have to identify and you have to claim and identify who you are as a person. Because see, with me, since when I was like 9 years old, I was already on I did remember Caldor? I was modeling for Caldor. I was modeling for Woolworth. I already am. I was born to be in the industry that I am striving in right now. Since I was born, I was part of this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't fake myself. This is who I am. Like, I am all about arts. I'm always fun. I'm always turn up. I'm always talking about, I'm meeting everybody, So then you have these people, like in my situation, it was like, and this is a voice that I've been hearing my whole life. You're selfish.
Somebody lied to you.
And the people that try to tell me that is, and now I learned this is not the word for when they get me. It's like, so then I would do something to make up for that.
I know
because
where that's
I don't want to be
coming from.
called selfish.
I know
I'm
where
a
that's
love
coming
person.
from.
I understand that 100%. Growing up, right? It's almost you're almost too selfless now because you're determined to prove them wrong.
And
So-
the thing with me is like I try to bring everybody up with me.
Of course.
But
everybody doesn't deserve to be there, Star.
They've always said to me,
Everybody doesn't deserve to be there.
Imagine if you were humble. How much humble do I have to be, bitch?
No, stop. Please hold. That is an absolute lie. Let me tell you something. You are making moves because God gave you, or whoever you believe for you, but for me it's God. God gave you the ability to do amazing things, right? Everybody doesn't deserve to be where you are. And us continuing to drag those people along with us is like why don't we put 50-pound weights on our feet and then run for our lives? How's that going to go? It's not going to go anywhere. But here's the other part of it. At some point, we have to take responsibility for our part in that. It's not somebody else's fault. No. It's not ours fault. It's not C's fault. It's not XYZ's fault. It's none Tom, Dick, Harry, whatever. It's nobody's fault. If you don't give yourself enough space in relationships to evaluate what has just happened to you and then learn and grow and be better as a result of it, you will continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. So at some point, you have to decide, and I got this from an economics guy that I went out with a couple of times. He's so smart. He's so smart with the numbers.
So smart.
He's so smart. But here's what he said. He said, you have to evaluate whether or not the return on your investment is worth the cost you paid for it. I'm finally at a place in my life where the return on my investment is pretty damn high. Okay, I'm worth a lot. I'm a princess of the Most High God. I'm a doctorate of law. I'm a general
proud of
contractor.
who you are.
I'm the mother of 2 extraordinary human beings. I have amazing friends. Why would I allow myself to move backwards when it took me so long to move forward?
Yes.
You gotta
Why?
be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Own who you are. Don't let anybody make you. This is one of the reasons like you fall into these situations because you do allow somebody to dictate you,
Yeah, yeah.
and then they kind of attack you in the way because you're like me. I'm a fucker, but I'm a guy. I have a good heart. You know what I'm saying?
You do.
And
You do.
then that's when they get me. They get me in my. I call it. This is what I've called. This is how I identify it. My 2 seconds of stupidity.
But let me tell you what Richard says about that, and he's been telling me this for years. Richard said it's really, really easy to do something for a minute. Can you sustain that behavior? And I've never listened to him, and I apologize for that because I should have listened to that one.
We
that
don't want
was
to listen to Richard
that
because
was-
he's like such a the law and shit.
No, but I love Richard. Richard, look, I've seen Richard retarded, and I love him on every level. I
We
love
fight
him
every day, all of
I love
us.
him sober, unsober, acting right, acting a fool, house clean, dirty dishes, law degree. Not what I don't care. Richard and I fight like family. But the one thing that Richard has said over and over and over again that I did not take seriously until this year was people can make promises to you all the time. Can they sustain it? Wait for lasting change.
Yep.
And there is where it starts. So I got a
Lasting
couple things
change.
to tell you about that right there.
I just wish I took my own advice.
Right.
Yeah, you're
Real,
retarded.
right?
He never takes
You know
his
what
own
though?
advice.
A lot of times
really does,
we
though?
know what's good for us.
Exactly.
We already
We
know.
know the
Look.
answers to our own problems. We
that the
just
truth?
don't do it.
You're right. So
Because
let
we
me ask
want to
you a question.
give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yes, that's
we
what I'm
want to
saying.
we want to
Exactly.
prove ourselves.
We want to be
Wrong.
good.
Right.
We want to help somebody. We are still humans. You see, that's the moment that got me was, you know what? This person seems sincere and he just needs a chance.
We could be
And
so
I tried to
great
give him the
together
chance, but
if
that
he
chance
matched
lasted 4
me.
fucking years.
Yeah.
No.
And what I was
Well,
doing was being a sugar mama.
So then, what I would say to you is that I didn't take nearly as long to learn the lesson, but I jacked it up twice. So there we are in the same place, really, right? Like 2.5 years, 3 years later, right? But this is what I've decided, and I'm going to give you guys 3 things I want you to write somewhere. I'll give you a second. Go get a pen and a piece of paper.
Go.
Get a pen and paper.
Run.
Pen and paper.
5, 4, 3.
Can I use my iPhone?
You can use your iPhone.
Oh, Mr. Siri, can you write this down for me?
Siri,
Because
can
you're
you
my
take
oldest.
notes?
Go ahead.
Siri,
tell
can
her.
you write this down? Because I ain't got no pen
Hey
and paper.
Siri, do I need to listen to 3 girls in this room?
You actually
Yeah,
do.
you
Shut
love
it.
it.
Siri, try and give me
Richard
another
has
answer.
3 girl best friends, and he has to deal with all bullshit.
So when you realize you are building a boyfriend, okay, this is
Okay.
my number one piece of advice. The second you get the red flag, hear it. Don't allow yourself to talk you out of recognizing that you're making a bad choice. That's number 1. Number 2, throw the ball back. Meaning, when somebody sees me with all I have to offer and they threw me the ball and I'm working myself to death to please them, make them happy, prove I'm worthy, whatever is on the list that day, throw the ball back and allow that person an opportunity to bring something to the table.
What was the first one?
Okay? What was the first one, Richard? You're
Recognize-
taking notes.
Oh, don't talk yourself out of
The red flag.
the red flag.
Your body and your mind and your
You
intuition.
know,
This
trust
is
your
this is what I'm saying.
intuition.
Choose wisdom over emotion.
Right, which sounds super
But
fun.
do it early in the process is what you're saying.
I
Don't
am
wait till
saying
later,
it.
right?
The minute,
You have to
look, let's
trust
be
your
honest with
intuition.
each other. We knew those flags were flying real early on, and we didn't pick to listen to them. Would you agree with that, Sergio? How many times you done that?
Can
Every time.
Every time, right?
Yep.
So the first minute you saw, oh, she fine, she fly.
Yep.
Woo, woo, she fabulous, she PYT, whatever. And then the little flag flew up, and you're like, boink. Okay, she's a gold digger. She ain't playing with no broke nigga. All right? And then you didn't listen to that, right?
Nope.
And you kept it rolling. How long? What's the average? A year, 2 years, 3 years?
About 2 to 3 years. Is
Right? So you think of the time, the money, the heartbreak, the experience, the bills paid, the aggravation, the angst, the sleepless night. You could have saved yourself by pitching the first flag and going, you want something from me that you can't give yourself. So you're thinking, I'm an easy way out. Negative.
But we also found the mistake. You see, with me, towards my end, I couldn't trust the process for a very long time. So I was buying time in a situation I should have walked away immediately.
Right.
So I should have walked away. But I was afraid at the moment. I said, listen, I'm going to plot. And I'm sitting with her plotting. And guess what? Mm-hmm. It came to the moment that I said that shit happened. I couldn't plot no more. Like, an hour later, I'm pushing all my shit to the curb, and I'm saying, "Fuck you, nigga!" Like, you know what I mean?
But
and I said, "Brenda,
something.
I just did this. What the fuck am I gonna do?" And she says, "You got to do what you got to do."
You know what I told her? But what I told her was, I said, "You're gonna be fine, Star. You're gonna cry today. I'm gonna give you 2 hours to cry. You remember this conversation?"
And I cried.
I said, "I'm gonna give you 2 hours to freak out and have a nervous breakdown, and then at 2:01, you're gonna put some lipstick on." And you're going to straighten your back.
And I'm going to clean my throne.
And you keep moving forward. There is no other place for you to go but forward. Did I not say that to you?
And she did say that to me. And at the beginning, I was at this space that I had built up. And I was, I didn't know. I was not grounded. That's the correct word. I wasn't grounded in my own space that I have created for myself. Mm-hmm. And I dropped the ball for like a year. I stopped doing everything. I started doing the runway shows. I stopped doing the photo shoots. Yep. I stopped doing everything. Yep. And I just needed to regain myself.
All right. So what was number one? Somebody repeat it back to me. I need to know.
Don't talk yourself out of the red flags.
Right. Well, be willing to catch that. What's number two?
Throw the ball back.
Throw the ball back. How are we going to throw the ball back?
By letting them do something for you.
That's right. If I'm bringing everything to the table, look at Frankie.
A bitch is trying to learn.
Look at Frankie learning up in this piece. What? I'm so proud of you, boo.
Girls, you better get on it because you will get played.
But here's the big one. You ready? This is the one that hurts.
And guys,
this is the one where people fail. We can do 1 and 2 pretty easily because we got like a little swag and we start tire stomping through the joint going, yeah, I caught the red flag. You better do something for me. But here's the third one. If number 2 doesn't happen, be willing to walk away.
And that's the hardest part.
Promptly, immediately, and without reconsideration.
Wait.
Don't go back.
You don't go to get your sneakers at all costs?
Fuck the sneakers, bro. Let the sneakers go. We're tired of the shirts. Let the sneakers go.
Hashtag let the sneakers go.
Oh my
God. So wait a minute.
Yo, I'll go get you the sneakers today. No, I'm scared.
What happens, okay? What happens when you playing with a professional?
So
what if homeboy knows, right? Because people have to know. You got to know I'm on to you.
Of course.
You got to know I'm on to you, right? I'm going to start acting different. Right? I'm short with you. I'm not giving you all the love. I'm not giving you all the support.
And especially for women.
I'm not giving you all the monetary things that
Once
you want
you cut them off.
But wait, wait, there's more than that.
So
I hear the question coming.
I recognize the red flag, right? So I'm like, yo, throw it back. Right?
So, how you...
That's
what if you do?
That's when the fighting starts.
Nah.
What
happened?
Wait. You got to judge if the ball being thrown back is
in my situation
is done from a giving space to
because
you,
he wants
or
to
it's doing it to satisfy you for the moment to gain an advantage. Yes.
So he can
in my situation, though,
you have to be the judge of that.
In my situation, everything was so sexy and fine. I'm Star Sheer. Yeah, he likes it or whatever. But when I threw the ball and he didn't throw it back,
you kept going.
And I said, "What? Word?" Then he was like, "You're a fucking bitch. You're a fucking cunt. You don't give a fuck about nobody, or you give a fuck about a Star Sheer." And then he's
that's a
fucking
narcissist,
my
Tony.
head up. Now I'm going to a runway show. Oh, you give a fuck about a Star Sheer, but bitch, you ain't crying when I'm paying for everything.
Whenever it's not about him.
So hold that thought. I want you to hold that thought because she is saying something that's bigger than that.
That manipulation.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So she's saying, so what if they play the game? I recognize a red flag. Sergio, I see you. I see
Serge.
Sergio.
Paying attention.
I know. No, listen.
He said,
though.
"This
Listen.
bitch got me too."
Look, watch though. So I see Sergio, and I feel like Sergio a little suspect, and my little red flag pop up. Bing. And I go, "Hey, Sergio, you know what? I'm going to have to do some things for myself right now. So, you just get a hold of me when you got your stuff straight." And to Frankie's point, he starts saying, "What you need, baby? What you need?" He starts making ones fly, right? He starts flying some money
Got all
towards
these
the
ones
electric,
for
towards the food, whatever. He thinks in that
pay for
moment.
survival.
Well, listen, he thinks in that wow, excellent.
Survival.
Please hold that thought. He thinks in that moment, I gave her just enough, but not too much.
Exactly, and that's
But
what I was
just
in.
enough to make her hang with me for a little bit longer. But to your point, he bought another minute, right?
He's paying for time.
Right. But here's the thing. That is almost like a sheer curtain. It goes away very quickly. It's very transparent. You see almost immediately that was nonsense.
That's sustaining more than the moment.
You can't
Or
sustain
is it at the moment you're too busy and you're like, "Oh, he did this for me," but
no,
you
no,
know
no.
when your gut
And
But
feeling.
then you
That
go
moment
back to
is pure manipulation.
then you go back to what Richard said. Anybody can say anything in a moment. Can he sustain that behavior? He paid me today, but what about a week from now? What about the groceries? What about picking up the kids from
I
school?
wanted to
Whatever
say-
that
and I want to
is.
just say something.
I want to go back to what Frankie said though, because that was the ultimate question. Go.
At that time when he came back and did that, like he was like trying to buy time. It didn't even mean anything to me because I knew it was not.
You're already
genuine.
done. And here's the thing: when a man leaves a woman with the full intention that he might get her back,
And my friends,
by
you know
the
what they were
time
saying?
by the time a woman leaves, you were over a year ago.
And you know, my friend saw
a year
it.
ago.
The friend saw it because he went and bought this, and he goes,
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, look what Frank bought me," and he goes, "Star, you bought yourself that shit."
That's right. You're paying.
And
Now
then, you know
I want to
what?
go back to
I had to
Frankie's
sit down
question.
and think about that, too.
I want to go back to Frankie's question because what she said on the slide was actually the biggest question of the night. When somebody throws the little ones at you, but you in your spirit already realize that they're manipulating you, what do? Was that not your question?
Yeah, we walk away. You gotta walk away now.
All right, you might sit for
But
a
are
minute.
you strong enough to walk
But can I
away?
say
That's the
something?
problem.
We still haven't answered her.
They're
yet.
What about if you
manipulation.
can't? Well, let's see. I want to hear both. What about if you're unable to walk away from
Bitch,
financial
be
situation?
homeless.
Right.
So
Can
here's
I-
where it is. I'm going to give you the two scenarios.
Yes.
If you live together, God knows we've all done it. Ain't nobody a
Yep.
virgin in this room. Can we tell the truth? Somebody tell the
I don't know
truth.
what
I'm
y'all
a little
talking about.
virgin
Look,
sometimes.
in the name
Serge
of
has been a
Jesus,
big talker, but I
in
have
the
my
name of
doubts.
Jesus, I jack
Listen,
it up
I-
all the time.
I could say I'm a virgin sometimes.
But I don't do it anymore because if you're look, some people get so entwined with each other financially that they
Yes.
can't afford to leave.
And that was me.
That was Star.
That was me.
And then some people ain't living with anybody, but they're smart enough to know they're being manipulated. At that point, you got nothing to lose. Am I right, Frankie?
No, nothing
You
to
got
lose.
zero to lose. You're going to be hurt for a minute. But really, if you take some personal inventory of what you've invested worth versus what they brought to the table versus what you're going to leave if you're not together, you really didn't lose anything.
Right.
Cut it. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Or you end up in Sergio's story where he knew in 2 weeks there was a red flag but stayed 3 years
Yep.
and lost that time. Let me tell you something. The one thing you're never getting back is your time.
Yeah.
You can
Can I-
get back your money.
The
You
most
can never
expensive
be.
thing.
I can never be 25. I can never be 51. I can never be 54. I can never be yesterday. All I got is right now.
I'm going to add something here. I think everybody's familiar with. In this room, you're all going to agree with me. I trust it. We all say that love is the most powerful emotion, but it's not. It's not
It's
even.
hatred.
Lust.
No, that's not even
Lust
love.
is
Fear.
mine.
No,
it's
it's
not even
not.
right.
No, it's not.
It's hope.
Hope.
Uh,
That thing
Hope.
that keeps
It's
you
what
out there wishing
it's
for
what
something.
Right.
I
It's
agree,
what you
Richard.
believe in your soul you want is far more powerful than what you're getting.
yeah.
So you keep hoping that what you're going to get back is
Well, that's
something
good. That's
is something
good.
far more than what is real love. You're not.
That's so good.
The person can tell you they love you and all that, but if you're not getting what you hope for, you're going to keep that hope alive until it's extinguished. Hope lasts far longer than love.
Let it go. Let it
Let it
go.
Because
Yeah, let it go.
Because
That's really
even
where we're at.
after you've been hurt, even after you've been stolen from, even though you've been lied to, even though you've been manipulated, you still believe in love. You still hope that
Yeah.
if maybe, hopefully not that fucking person, but that someone else will come along and be better. That someone will, the fact like that hope keeps you alive. It keeps you
And hope is
continuing.
great. Hope is great,
Well,
but
you gotta
be
use
mindful.
that. You have to use that hope instead of hoping like, damn, I hope he changes. I hope I get back on my feet.
And let me
faster.
tell you something. Then I actually did see, because I was going through a lot of things in my mind, and then I started doing these photo shoots, and I started rebranding myself.
We never got to 3, by the way. We'll get back there.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
we need 3.
I started rebranding myself real quick, and my friend told me, Star, you need to talk to somebody. So I did. I have somebody that I'm going to bring on my show in a few weeks. He was my spiritual advisor, and I had to be what they said I couldn't be. You know what I'm saying? I had to be what they said I couldn't be. That thing that I was fighting for not to be. Whoa, shit.
Titties flying everywhere.
That's who
right
I
now.
had to be. I had to be my fear, which was selfish. And that's who I am today.
You had to think about Star.
I had to be Star.
You had to only think about yourself.
And that was the thing that I was always fighting not to be.
Amen.
Right on.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my spiritual advisor said, that's your biggest fear, is to be selfish. Get selfish with it. And that's where I'm at.
It's because somebody told you your whole life, like everybody told me, oh, you're so selfish. You need to be caring more about your family. You need to do some more things for the children. You know what? There is a time and a
Fuck
place
them
for
kids.
No.
Just kidding.
Frankie, shut up. Listen. Look, there is a season.
Fuck them all.
There's a season in your life for all of those things. But here comes number 3.
Number
Yeah.
3.
Wait.
So number 1 was recognize the
flags.
red flag. Sergio, talk about it.
No.
What was number 2? Wait, I want to hear Sergio.
Yeah.
Throw,
What
it,
was number
throw
2?
the ball back.
Throw it
Throw the
back.
ball back.
Throw it back.
What you gonna do for me? And number 3, you ready?
What's
Be
number
willing
3,
to walk
boo-boo?
away.
Walk away permanently.
Yep.
Walk the fuck away.
Permanently.
What is permanently?
No
Let me tell you what
multiple chances.
Forever.
Forever, ever.
We're talking about no contact. We're talking
Blocking?
about
Ooh, no
Wait,
contact.
Hold me for a minute. Listen, when I talk about walking away, you got to be willing to do it in grace and in love, and be willing to say to that person, "You are incredible, sir." Let's play this out. Me and Sergio are going to break up. You want to break up? Sergio, break up with me. You ready? I'm gonna break up with you.
Do it.
Listen, Sergio, you're an incredible human. I am so fortunate to have met you, and I'm super excited that you and I are friends and that we're close. But listen, I don't think you and I are on the same page right now.
Who you fucking?
I don't think.
Shut up. You're
I
cut
don't
off.
think, I don't think our lives are going in the same direction. So what I'm going to do for you, I'm doing it for you,
Yes.
as I'm cutting you loose, bro, because you got things to do, and so do I. And I look
Amen.
forward to hearing how your life going. And then never, ever
Ever.
go back and do not initiate contact after that.
Facts.
I'm talking 0.
And
no
it's
text,
hard.
no phone call. I'm saying drop your junk off. Don't communicate. Leave the sneakers alone. Let the sneakers go.
Sneakers, motherfucker! I'm tired of the
Listen,
sneakers!
let the sneakers go.
Let the sneakers go! Let the sneakers go!
Or in the
Okay.
alternative, you can give them back. Thank you.
If you're
Or you can
listening,
give 'em
okay,
a-
okay.
Listen, Heather,
okay.
give that
Thank
boy
you.
his
If
sneakers.
you're listening, I will make a little appearance to your household, and you can
Listen,
like
Heather.
leave the
That
sneakers.
sounds like a
But
threat.
listen,
like
listen,
in
Heather.
front of
If
the
you don't want to play
thing.
nice,
And yeah, I like
Two
to do my
can't.
Facebook
Two
live,
can't call and he wants his
I'll bring the
nose
sneakers
back.
out.
Okay, 2 can't call and he wants his nose back.
Damn.
We just want his sneakers back, bitch.
That's a touchdown.
I thought the show was a touchdown, but
Like
okay.
a 70-yard run right there.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to break.
He
the,
doesn't pay attention
fourth
like every
wall
fucking man
for
in
that.
the fucking world. But girls,
Wait, he got
listen,
number 1 and number
if
2
he's
down.
a great
Still
man,
number 3.
So now
What do you
we
want
know-
from me? She just dumped me.
I know he's broken. He's broken. He's
Just
trying
trying
to
to
get
say-
Serge is hurt. God damn it,
Wait, what do you
Sergio.
say when you're recently
She just
dumped? You go
dumped me.
touchdown.
That's what I didn't see that coming, but okay. But listen, so now you saw the flag. You gave him the ball. You told him to throw it back. He didn't do it. You left him in grace and in love without demeaning him as a man, and you walk away and you make no contact. But how do you stop yourself from picking the same guy going forward?
Wisdom.
No.
No, yes. How do you not do that again? We're too old for this nonsense.
learn.
How do we not do this again? Think about it. Frankie, what do you think it is?
How do you not do it again?
How do you not pick the same people again?
Listen.
You do it again, dog. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Let him do it over and over until you're like,
How
okay.
good is he in
I'm
bed?
taking a
right?
survey. Actually, I'm taking a survey. I want to hear Frankie's answer. I want to hear Sergio's answer, Stars and Richards.
You want the truth or the right answer?
I want the truth. How do you not do it again going forward? All it brings you is pain. How do you not do this again? Talk to me.
Oh, I'm going to tell you.
You have to self-reflect. Okay.
Word. That's number one.
I do a lot of thinking about. I play little movies in my head of memories, right?
Yeah,
And
I know.
I have this thing, and I'm blessed, right? But it happens at the wrong time or the right time. It depends on who you ask.
Mm-hmm.
But I have this thing where it almost feels like I've been in a dream the entire time, and all of a sudden I
More
wake
like a
up.
nightmare.
Yes, a nightmare, a bad dream. But it's like I wake up, so all of a sudden I see everything. I see the manipulation. I see the lies. I see everything. Like whatever I was buying before.
And we call that space from your feelings. You get to actually look at it in the natural
Wow.
perspective.
You should
That's
try
what-
meditation for
That's
real.
that is actually what perspective is.
But what Frankie likes to do is I replay these stupid ass
What Frankie
memories
like to
in
do.
my head.
What's Frankie?
Hey,
Do
listen.
that, Frankie? You play these movies in your head, Frankie.
Yeah.
We're not going to derail you.
Listen, those moments replay in my head too. Okay.
No, for real though.
Damn it,
look,
those moments.
Look, if we walk away from here tonight and didn't learn anything, then we wasted our time. Let's get real.
Yeah.
What are you telling me?
Self-reflection. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think back on our relationship, and I try to pinpoint the things that I should have paid attention to.
Word.
I pinpoint the flags,
Yeah.
and I try my best. I try my damnest. Okay? I try my damnest. Damnedest. To.
Supposedly.
Supposedly.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
excuse me. That was gross.
Irregardless of
I try.
supposedly.
I try my best to see those red flags in other people.
Okay, fair.
Yes.
It's a great start. Sergio, what would you say?
I-
I do not pick those same people again. Be honest now. Come on. If we're not being real, we're wasting time.
I don't know.
Can I speak for
honestly.
Sergio? I'm just going to say
No, you
touchdown.
cannot.
I've
speak
been
for
taking
Sergio.
I've been taking break. So
Breaks are great.
yeah.
I took a year off. It changed my life. Breaks are good. What'd you learn in your break?
I learned I don't need nobody.
Okay.
Word.
That's power. You got to gain.
If you
gotta
don't
gain
need, then you don't
Yeah.
act needy.
I went from having
Yes.
like one show to 10 shows immediately after
Right.
getting rid of that.
If you
Yeah.
don't need, then you're not needy.
Your energy
and then
goes
somebody
somewhere
quality.
productive.
Yep.
Star, what would you say your takeaway is?
This is my takeaway, and this is how I live my life, and you guys already know that. I am 100% bringing to the table. And if you don't bring to the table as equally as me, we ain't vibing.
Table for one.
Fair. Table.
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
more than happy to eat alone. Word.
We're not vibing because
I know what I'm bringing to the table, so I'm happy to eat
because
alone.
with all my work
gotta
that
learn-
I've done outside of what I've been through, is I became who I wanted to attract, right?
Yeah.
Fair. The
And-
law of attraction is powerful.
And I just don't want anything less than that. And I'm not
That's
saying I
right.
want a millionaire or something like that. I just want
Yes,
somebody
we
that's going to
do.
be.
I want a
The
millionaire.
fuck?
I mean, I want somebody.
Speak for
I
yourself.
mean, you go for
This
That's
is
a
me.
bonus.
This is me. This is me. This is what I got. What do you got? Let's take over, baby.
Let's build.
Let's build.
Richard, what about you? I want to hear you. I want to
Zero
hear you.
tolerance for toxicity and learn to walk away. That's the biggest lesson of all this.
Right.
I mean,
It's
Yeah.
you got to
Learning
be
to walk
you got to be
away.
strong enough to walk away. And how you get strong enough to walk away is not two things. Not putting yourself in a position where you have to rely on other people. Number one, and number two, not giving anyone that kind of authority over you. Period.
and what I mean by zero tolerance is actually zero tolerance. You can't say, well, I'm going to cut him or her a break and
No.
give them the benefit of the
No.
doubt. It
No.
is you trust yourself to realize
And your
that
instincts.
was toxic.
Yeah.
that was bad, that was awful, that it's
And
something
it's
that's going
never
to take
good.
me down, it's going to be a net negative,
Yeah.
and I'm going to walk away from it.
Agreed. I agreed.
Where do we find you, Brenda?
Okay, so where you can find me is if you want to text me and ask questions and learn things, 813-405-7922.
Oh,
If
for
you want
real?
to email me a scenario and let me walk you through it, Brenda, Brenda, middle initial is Y, Ayala, Ayala at Gmail. So BrendaYayala at gmail.com. I really wish you all the best.
You ever
Richard,
think
where
about
we find-
having your own show?
I have. And I actually have had my own show.
Oh,
We'll talk.
yeah, we should.
But some guy took it away from you, that bastard. No, I'm
I'm
just
sorry,
kidding.
so and so, whatever.
You can follow us and chopping it up,
All right.
people. Richard,
Richard Myers of the Myers Firm. You can find me on
Myers
Facebook
Firm.
at the Myers Firm PA. You can find me on Instagram at G8TRATTY and on Twitter at Richard F. Myers
Oh,
or
I
Richard
forgot
F.
about
Myers 1.
Twitter.
Wait a minute. I'm on Facebook, Brenda Ayala,
you can find her on my
31.
page.
Brenda Ayala, 31. You can certainly find me on Starshear's page. If you're a friend, I'm a friend. Find me.
Frankie Fingers.
If you're a friend, I'm a friend. I like that.
And, okay, I'm a professional singer,
I
right?
just want to say to
Can we just
everybody-
do this? Can we do this?
Okay,
Yeah.
give me 1
Sing us
second
on the
though.
way out.
We're gonna have Brenda
sing
sing a
out.
song, but I just want to say something. Follow us on Flowhio Radio, chopping it up with Starshear, Instagram, Facebook, Frankie Fingers on Instagram. You can find her through my stuff if you can't find her. Just follow her. Follow her, Frankie Herrera's on.
No, don't follow me on Facebook. Y'all damn.
Okay, don't follow her on
Think about the
Facebook.
personal.
That's
But let me
private.
just tell you
You gonna
something.
get offended.
Let me tell you something, guys. Stop being Mr. or Mrs. Build a Person. Build
No.
yourself up.
Build a boo. Build a
Build
boo.
yourself up.
I am no longer a build a
And
boo.
wait for it. Somebody's going to come into your life that's going to be equal to you, that's going to bring to you what you give. That's where I'm at in my life.
Word.
I've been single for 3 years, and I'm happy with it. You know what I'm saying?
Never
Because
thought
I know what I
feel
give.
this way.
And you can't
And
have
as
it if you're not
far
giving
as
it to me
I'm
back.
concerned, I'm
Sir,
glad I
Flow
have
Higher Radio.
friends to say
Hey, we got one thing real quick.
that I do
What's the one thing,
believe.
baby?
We haven't done. I don't think we've done it on this show.
What?
It's a new segment. It's it's basically a Flowhio Radio segment. So that means every show gets to do it. It's really simple.
What are you on, WWE? No, I'm kidding.
Oh my God!
Shoot your shot time, lady.
Let's go! Let's
Fingers go first. Actually, no. You go first. It goes around.
But you can't move. You can't. You gotta stay in your seat.
You gotta stay in your
Star.
seat.
Sit
Stay in
down. You
your
gotta stay in your seat. Dun, 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 dun.
Richard, sir.
That is not fair! Frankie's going to the door!
It's Brenda's turn. Brenda's
I
turn.
want another check.
All right. Listen, if I don't make this, I never liked you people. Okay.
I don't even like
Frankie Fingers. Did we go too far? Did we go too far? Focus, grasshopper. Oh! Dude, you didn't
I
even hit
just
the
want to
door.
add that 2 of the 3 women got rim jobs.
Oh, today.
Let the record reflect Sergio is far closer than the guest.
I am, though. I
Big
am.
Mike.
Sir got it for us. He took it for the team today. Thank
Fresh.
you very much.
Be fresh.
Give him one more
And,
chance.
Okay. No, that's it. One shot. One shot per show.
I only get one shot.
You get one shot and you
I'm
just
a great
drank it.
three-pointer. I just want to say, like,
I have no evidence of this stuff.
Well, we'll see.
You couldn't even shoot a one shot.
I just want
right
to say,
now.
girls and guys, if you're going through a situation, be real to your own self. Don't go
Situation.
through. Don't do it yourself anymore. There's no good. There's no good.
All right,
answer.
Christina.
Wow.
Okay, Christina.
Okay. Okay, show.
Yeah.
Sing me a song.
And I never thought I'd feel this way. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad I had the chance to say that I do believe I love you. And if we should ever go astray, just remember I love Richard, and you will come along to stay. 'Cause you know how much I love you. Keep shining, keep smiling, knowing you can always count on me. For sure. And that's what friends are for. It's in good times, in bad times, I am on your side forevermore. Oh, that's what friends are for. Good night.
We have a wonderful friendship. Richard has 3 girls, and it's me,
2 girls.
Jenny, and Brenda.
That's right.
And he is the
2 girls.
I was thinking my daughters as soon as you said that.
No. Richard has me, Jenny, and Brenda.
Wait, don't you got a girlfriend?
Yeah.
So you got 4
No,
girls.
no, my girlfriend understands that I'm part of a
Three.
foursome.
He is Charlie's
He's
angel.
part of a
Actually,
foursome.
let's think about this. So he's Charlie, right? He got the brunette, the redhead, and the blonde.
I'm the blondes. And you know,
Star said, I'm the blonde.
I'm so blessed.
As if she was trying to convince herself.
Listen,
girl, I
listen.
seen your roots,
Let me
girl.
tell you something.
I done seen your roots.
Listen, they like my roots. But let me tell you something. We're like Sex in the City, but Richard is Samantha now because I used to be, but now he is.
OMG. Wow. So
I wish I
on
knew what that
note,
meant, actually.
Hey,
Thank you, guys.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. By all means, send us an email, text, whatever. Let us know how you feel
Yeah,
about it.
thank you for tuning us in. We're going to have a part 2 to this, and then we're going to have a part 3. So next time we're going to have a guy in the house, and then we're going to have the guys and the girls
I need to give a tribute right on the final word here. Tribute to Serge for being the producer of the show
Gang,
and
gang.
managing
Yes.
to watch his favorite college team
At the same time, and only freaked out once.
amazing.
He
One
only
touchdown.
he
reference.
sounded like he had Tourette's for just that 1 minute when he said touchdown.
You were
Nobody
like
knew
the
what heck
typical
he was talking
boyfriend. You were like the typical boyfriend because I kept giving him the eye like, Serge, are you listening?
Thank you.
Of
We had a
course
great
not.
time.
Gang, gang. Look at her spilling shit
I
on the
didn't spill
equipment.
nothing. Thank you very much.
Spilling
Thank you for
shit
watching.
on the equipment.
Follow us and chopping it up with Starshare, baby.
Ow.
Gang, gang.
Don't run away from your feelings. Say another motherfucking word and this shit is over.